My name is Gabe Midland. I am an associate professor here in the College of Education at Dakota State University. We have certainly software that, as far as cheating goes while taking a test, we can discern if they are looking somewhere else or seemingly distracted by something that may be giving them information. Plagiarizing, too, is something that is a very serious concern. When students are composing papers and things like that, taking the ideas from others and using them without proper attribution is a very serious concern. One of the things that I think sometimes the students who do cross the line fail to fully appreciate is that it's not so much what you know, it's who you know, and so your reputation oftentimes precedes you. There are many bright students out there, and quite frankly, GPA is not a huge consideration for most employers. I've consulted with people who are looking for someone to fill a vacancy, as well as hired several people on my own, is their background, where they're from, to see if I might have some connection, similar experience. But it's not unusual for me to get calls from people or for me to make calls with regard to an applicant to ask, tell me more about this person. Are they reliable? Do they have a sense of integrity? What do they like to work with? And of course, if it comes across that the student may have made a poor choice at one time, and that's the impression that was left with the person I'm talking to or who I am talking to, if that makes sense. If it's less than desirable, there are a lot of other applicants. The charge of plagiarism is very serious, and we should and ought to take that very seriously. I think it can destroy a person's reputation very quickly and easily. Not that that can't be restored, but your integrity takes a long time to establish. When they are wondering if they should provide attribution in a plagiarism situation, my best advice is go ahead, make the attribution. Cite the source. Provide the in-text citation. It makes a big difference.
My name is Penny Johnson, and I am a professional academic advisor. So I think there are several ways that students can avoid plagiarizing and cheating. One of the things that I tell students to do, first of all, in every class at the beginning of every semester is to review the syllabus so that there's a clear understanding of the expectations for that course, and so that they can kind of plot out big projects when finals, midterms, those kinds of things are due. Because structure and organization help, right? Keep you on track, keep you less stressed, less overwhelmed, less need to procrastinate, because you know what you're supposed to be doing if you keep things scheduled. One of the primary things. I think another thing is knowing what courses are challenging to you. So you may be a master of coding, but writing a paper may be the bane of your existence. Knowing what's challenging and areas where you need help. We have strengths and areas of growth, and I think acknowledging that is a part of human development and an important part of self-awareness. And so if students are able to ask questions and seek resources, the tutoring, the writing center, talking with your instructors, using supplemental instruction, Study Buddies is available in the Trojan Connect app. There's all kinds of ways to get help for courses that you feel might be particularly challenging. Another reason I think that students cheat or plagiarize information is a fear of failure. But to that I would say nothing great in the history of all humanity has ever been accomplished without failure. So fighting that fear of failure, being able to do your own work and failing and trying again and learning, and that's a much better process than cheating, because obviously cheating, you can still fail because you can get caught, and that failure is going to feel far worse and leave you kind of fighting for your integrity. As an advisor, I take a holistic approach to working with students. I'm concerned about, are you exercising? Are you eating well? Are you drinking your water? Those kinds of things. And so when I think about cheating, I think about the impact to character. I also think about the impact. So if you're cheating, if someone else is doing your work for you, not only do you not get that feeling of woohoo, when you've accomplished something, when your code finally works, when your paper's finally done. So you're cheating yourself out of that success. But then let's say you hand in the paper that someone else did for you, or that you stole somebody else's words to produce, or somebody wrote your code for you, or you went out on a website and pulled that code from somewhere, and the instructor doesn't catch it, and you get an A. That's not your A. It's somebody else's A. I think that they may not be clear on formatting, like for MLA, APA. Yeah, I think there could be some confusion for students on how to do that properly. So we have free tutoring here. We have the Writing Center, which is also free. There's Help Night for the Beacom College area courses. There's Study Buddies in Trojan Connect app, which can be utilized by students in specific courses to connect with other students to be able to study together. Obviously, your instructors are there to help you. And if you have questions about any of that, I would say contact your advisor. So there are definitely resources available for students. I definitely don't want my medical professionals, having cheated their way through med school. I definitely don't want people in my world that I rely on to be incompetent.
My name is Kristen Ulk, and I serve as the coordinator of student conduct. So I think that students can avoid cheating or plagiarism at DSU by planning, right, and asking questions. I think that oftentimes when we cheat or maybe don't even know that we are fully cheating, it's because we haven't taken the time to prepare, or we just are looking for the easy, quick answer. So I think if students were to ask questions if they're unsure, or to just plan that they need to spend time working on their stuff, that we could avoid some of this. So in my role, it's interesting because, like I said, I'm the conduct coordinator, but I also work with academic support services, so advising and other areas. So, we see students who are completely failing a class because they made the choice to grab an assignment off of Chegg and turn it in as their own, or that they didn't cite any sources, so they fail that assignment. So, it ranges between failing an assignment or failing the entire course. And failing the entire course, all of a sudden where you thought maybe you're going to be graduating or you're getting closer, you have to start all the way over. So there are a lot of consequences, and there's a lot of internal consequences, I think, for students, because I don't think students actually want to cheat. I think they feel unconfident in their own ability, so they're looking for a way. And now there's shame, and there's anger, and there's frustration. So, there's a lot of secondary consequences that follow making the choice to cheat or plagiarize. To some level, I think students do know what cheating or plagiarism is. I think everybody learned right away. You can't take somebody else's work and turn it in as your own. I think that sometimes there's gray lines between, I really didn't know that I was supposed to put quotation marks here, or I was supposed to say, this study says, right? So I think that in some way students know what's right or what's wrong, but I think that as a university we can do a lot better job at making sure students are aware of what is plagiarism, what is cheating, how do you avoid the situation. So when a student has a question about an assignment, sometimes I think it feels vulnerable to admit that I don't exactly know what's going on. All right, well, the only way you know is you go and ask the source, right? And I think our faculty are open and willing to say, sure, let me clarify that for you. Have you looked at the rubric? Have you looked at? I think students should utilize their faculty, utilize their advisor, utilize their peers, right? And then go to things like the Writing Center, to the tutors, and make sure that they're confident in the material that they're putting forward as that it's their own. I think what surprises me is that students feel like they can't do it, right? There's this place that says, I'm not good enough, right? Well, I think we on a campus as faculty, as staff, totally believe students can do it, right? And it should be hard. We're at college, it should be hard. We're challenging you, right? But I don't want to see students be defeated to where then they feel like they have to turn in other people's work instead of their own. We all are growing, we're all learning. So I think what surprises me is that students don't have confidence in their ability to do it, and we need to kind of help instill, like, yes, you do. You can do this. And heck, make a mistake, right? But make an honest mistake. And then let's fix it from there. And then the other thing is just that sometimes I think students think there won't be consequences, right? It's like, there won't be a consequence if I choose to turn in an assignment that wasn't mine. There's going to be consequences, and there should be consequences. And so from our standpoint, as campus, we need to make sure we're working with students so that students know what's right, what's wrong, how to get help, how to ask questions, and how to be more confident in themselves. I think the only thing I would just want to add is that, for students to know that your faculty care deeply about your education, the staff and other resources here on campus, we care deeply for you to get the education and the knowledge you need to go forward into the workforce. So don't sell yourself short, right? You have the skills and abilities to do great. So go out and do it and make mistakes, but then let's learn from them and move forward.